Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be doing a comparison between Leuchtturm's 80 GSM and the 20 GSM paper. Most of Leuchtturm's notebook comes with the 80 GSM paper. I believe the only two models that has the 120 GSM paper is the edition 120G and the one I have here, which is their bullet journals. This notebook here is in the color sage green and I use it to rant and write down thoughts or process things. This one is in powder pink and it is my bullet journal. The standard Leuchtturm has a few proliferated pages at the back so you can neatly rip out the pages. This bullet journal does not have the proliferated pages at the back, but the edition 120G does. They both have a pocket at the back and I also put a pin loop on this one. I have a bunch of pens here to test out on these papers, so let's get started. First up, we have the Sakura Pigma Microns, a very popular fine liner. I am testing 4 nib sizes here, the 0.1, 0.3, 0.5, and the number 1 nib. The way I am testing this is just first writing with it and then a single line and then going over the same line 3 times and then just a squiggly line. I am testing both the very thin nib as well as the thicker nib so we can see whether it will bleed through with the thicker nib that lets off more ink. The next set of pens we are testing are popular pens people use for writing. I have both gel pens and ballpoints here, and I think this is what most people use to write with. So first up we have the Uni Jetstream in both 0.38 and 0.5. These are the only ballpoints I have to test out because I hate ballpoint pens. I don't know if it's the way I write or if I have yet to find the one that works for me, but yeah, ballpoint pens and I do not go that well together. I then tested the Muji gel pens, again in both 0.38 and 0.5. Other ballpoints and gel pens will perform very similar to the ones I'm testing here, so you can use this to gauge how your preferred pen of choice will perform on this paper. I also tested out the Zebra Sarasa clips. It's another gel pen, so it performs super similar to the Muji gel pen, but as well as black, I am also testing out the other colors. Next up are the Crayola super tips. I wrote with the pointy part of the nib, then angled the pen to get the highlighting lines. Then we have the Mildliners. I love these markers. I've sworn by these for years and years and years. They have such pretty colors. I use the marker nib to write with and the highlighter side to do the lines and going it over itself 3 times. Each time you go over the Mildliner, it darkens up like the Tombow, not the Tombow, like the Crayola super tips we just tested. It darkens up the color and it creates like a very pretty gradient effect. Then we have the Tombow dual brush pens. Again, I used the marker side to write and the brush side to do the lines. Like the Mildliners, the colors get darker each time we go over the lines. But testing out the Tombow dual brush pens made me realize something about the 2 papers, which we will discuss in a little bit. I then copied this over onto the 20 GSM paper in the exact same pen order, and let's see the backside of both of these pages. As you can see, there's a lot of ghosting on the 80 GSM paper, but not really any bleed through, except maybe for the Tombow. There's a slight bleed through on the spots I went over with 3 times, and for the very thin nibs like the Uni Jetstream and the Muji in 0.38, you can feel the pen strokes on the other side of the page, but I write with a lot of pressure, so if you write with a very light hand then this might not happen to you. For the 20 GSM paper, there is very minimal ghosting. Nothing bled through, but there was a little bit of buckling of the paper with the Tombow dual brush pens and the thick Sakura Pigma Micron. I actually noticed this while I was setting up my August bullet journal spreads. I used a lot of the Pigma Microns, but this buckling did not happen on the 80 GSM. When you feel both the pages, the 120 GSM feels more smooth to the touch, so I think the coating is probably different on the two papers. The smoother paper on the 20 GSM makes the writing experience feel smoother, and the colors of the markers went on more smoothly when compared to the 80 GSM. But this coating is what I think causes the buckling of paper and also means that the ink takes longer to dry. Let's see the smudge test now. I'm writing with the Zebra Sarasa and then dragging my hand over it as if I was to write on the next line, and as you can see, the ink smudged on both of these, but it is more extreme on the 20 GSM paper because of that coating. If you need a notebook for writing, the 80 GSM is more than sufficient, but if you want to doodle and use markers, or if ghosting really bothers you, then I think the 120 GSM is the better option despite that buckling and smudging issues. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it or found it helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel because that would put a huge smile on my face and I would love to see you in my next video. Have a wonderful day or night. Bye!